Good afternoon, fellow Biafrans. Today is the 11th day of November 2024. And entire Biafra land is under lock and key in compliance with the Biafra government directive. I want you to understand, it is only in Biafra land that people are not running away from their ancestral land in the entire Nigeria. In Yoruba land, people are fleeing the ancestral land. In the northeast, northwest, middle belt, people are fleeing from the ancestral land. It is only in Biafra land, and the government of Biafra made it possible. But you know what? They would like you to believe that Ekpa is the cause of insecurity. No. I am the solution, and the only way they can get to you is by kicking me out of the way, which is not possible. I have come. After I am done with Nigeria, Biafra will be free and enjoy freedom. Biafra will know the importance of freedom and what I'm doing today in 5 years to come. Thank you.
Simon Ekpa, who is currently the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile, has sent a strong message to Biafrans all over the world. He stated that Biafra land is secured by Biafra Defense Forces and that the Nigerian military, who are causing insecurity in Biafra land, are currently leaving Biafra land because they cannot contain the Biafra Defense Force. He stated that it is only in Biafra land that people are not running away from their ancestral land in the entire Nigeria. According to him, in Yoruba land, people are fleeing their ancestral land. In the northeast, northwest, and middle belt, people are fleeing their ancestral land. But in Biafra land, people are not running away from their ancestral land. He stated that the Nigerian government and everyone that is not supporting the movement would like Biafrans to believe that he, Simon Ekpa, is the cause of insecurity. He further stated that he's not, rather, he is the only solution to insecurity in Biafra land, and that the only way they can get to Biafrans is by kicking him out of the way, which he stated is not possible. He further stated that he is Nigeria's worst nightmare, and after he's done with Nigeria, Biafra will be free and enjoy freedom. According to him, Biafrans will know the importance of freedom and appreciate what he's doing today in the next 5 years to come. Simon Ekpa is not just an activist. He's known as the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile. Now, Simon Ekpa recently sent out a strong message. His words weren't just for Biafrans in Nigeria, but for Biafrans all over the world. His message was clear. Biafra land is secure. He claims that the Biafra Defense Forces have taken control of Biafra land, and the Nigerian military, which he accuses of insecurity, is now leaving because they can't handle the strength of the Biafra Defense Force. Imagine hearing those words if you were Biafran, to be told that your homeland is safe and that it is secured not because of the Nigerian government, but because of your own people, because of Biafrans defending their land. Simon Ekpa wants people to feel proud of this, to believe that they have taken back control. According to Simon Ekpa, Biafra is a special position. He says, look around the country. In the northeast, in the northwest, even in the middle belt, people are running away from their homes. They are scared. They are fleeing because they don't feel safe. He points to Yoruba land, saying that people there are also leaving their ancestral land because of insecurity. But in Biafra land, he says the story is different. Biafrans are standing their ground. They are not running. They are holding on, determined not to leave their land. This is a bold statement, and it is powerful. It is not just about land. It is about identity heritage, and pride. For many Biafrans, the land is more than just soil and trees. It is the place their ancestors called home. And Simon Ekpa believes that his efforts and the work of the Biafran government in exile have made it possible for Biafrans to stay put. He thinks this shows the strength of the Biafran spirit, a spirit that doesn't give up or run away. But there is a twist in Simon Ekpa's story. According to him, the Nigerian government and people who don't support the Biafra movement have tried to paint him as the cause of the insecurity. They want Biafrans to believe that Simon Ekpa is the problem. They want people to see him as a source of trouble, as someone who is making life harder in Biafra. Simon Ekpa strongly denies this. He says, "I am not the problem, I am the solution." He believes that he is the one bringing stability and security to Biafra. He claims that his opponents want him out of the way, but he insists that they can't get rid of him. In his words, "The only way they can get to you is by kicking me out of the way, which is not possible." These words carry a lot of defiance, almost like a challenge. Simon Ekpa is daring anyone who opposes him to try to stop him, saying that they simply won't be able to. He even calls himself Nigeria's worst nightmare. He seems determined to finish what he started, to see Biafra free and independent. And here is where his message gets a bit prophetic. Simon Ekpa believes that in 5 years from now, Biafrans will look back on these days and understand what he was fighting for. He thinks that by then, people will realize the importance of freedom and appreciate his efforts. "After I am done with Nigeria," he says, "Biafra will be free and enjoy freedom." Now let's take a step back and consider why Simon Ekpa's message is so powerful for many Biafrans. For years, the Biafra movement has been about more than just a physical place. It has been about reclaiming a sense of identity, history, and the pride that runs deep in the veins of those who consider themselves Biafran. To fully understand Simon Ekpa's words, we need to look at what Biafra means to its people. The struggle for Biafra isn't new. Decades ago, in the late 1960s, there was a brutal war in Nigeria, one that centered around Biafra. Back then, Biafrans tried to declare independence, hoping to break away from Nigeria and form their own nation. They had their reasons. Many felt marginalized, believing that they weren't being given fair treatment within Nigeria. They saw their people suffering and felt that independence was the only way to ensure a better life for their communities. Unfortunately, that war ended in loss and tragedy, leaving scars that still linger today. For many people who lived through that time or grew up hearing stories from their parents and grandparents, the word Biafra represents hope, even in the face of hardship. It represents resilience and a refusal to be forgotten. This dream has never truly died, even though decades have passed. So when Simon Ekpa stands up and talks about Biafra, he's not just speaking about land or politics. He's talking about a dream that has lived in the heart of Biafrans for generations. Simon Ekpa knows this. He understands that when he speaks, he's tapping into something powerful. And that is why his message is crafted to inspire Biafrans around the world. He doesn't just talk about securing Biafra. He talks about giving people a reason to stand tall, a reason to stay on their ancestral land and fight for it if necessary. His words are designed to make people feel proud of their heritage and to see themselves as part of a movement larger than themselves. In his recent message, Simon Ekpa didn't just claim that Biafra land is safe. He made a bold comparison. he looked at other regions in Nigeria and pointed out that people are fleeing. In his view, the Northeast, the Northwest, the Middle Belt, and even Yoruba land are filled with people who are packing up and leaving their homes because they feel unsafe. But in Biafra land, he says the situation is different. Biafrans are standing firm, they are not running, they are staying put, rooted in their land, unwilling to abandon it. To Simon Ekpa, this is a sign of strength, a testament to the work of the Biafran government in exile, and a message to the world that Biafrans are not afraid. Let's imagine how this would feel if you were a Biafran listening to Simon Ekpa's words. Perhaps you have seen friends or family in other regions of Nigeria facing violence or unrest. You have heard stories of communities torn apart, people forced to leave everything behind. And now, here is Simon Ekpa telling you that in Biafra, you don't have to run. Your land is safe because your people are protecting it. It is a powerful message, one that fills many with pride and a sense of security. But Simon Ekpa knows that his message has critics. According to him, there are those, especially in the Nigerian government and others who don't support the Biafra movement, who want Biafrans to believe that he is the cause of the problems in Biafra land. Simon Ekpa feels that they are trying to make him out to be a villain, a source of instability and insecurity. He is aware that he has a reputation and he knows that some people view him as a controversial figure. But Simon Ekpa doesn't shy away from this, he confronts it head on. He says, "They would like you to believe that Simon Ekpa is the cause of insecurity. No, I am the solution." For him, this is more than just defending himself. It is about standing up for what he believes is the truth. He insists that he's not the problem, he's the answer. He believes that he's working to bring peace, stability, and ultimately freedom to Biafra. And in his view, the only way his opponent could weaken the Biafra movement is by getting rid of him, something he says is simply impossible. Simon Ekpa's words carry a kind of defense, a message to those who want to stop him. I am here and I'm not going anywhere. He even calls himself Nigeria's worst nightmare, a phrase loaded with meaning. He sees himself as a threat to the Nigerian establishment, someone they fear because he is relentless in his pursuit of Biafran independence. He believes that his opponents are worried because they know he's serious, that he won't back down or give up on Biafra. This sense of purpose is what drives Simon Ekpa. In his mind, he's on a mission that goes beyond himself. He sees his work as something that future generations will appreciate. He is convinced that in 5 years, Biafrans will look back on these days and understand what he was fighting for. They will realize the importance of freedom, he says, and they will be grateful for the effort he's putting in now. To Simon Ekpa, this isn't just a short-term goal, it is a legacy he's building. After I am done with Nigeria, Biafra will be free and enjoy freedom, he says. He imagines a future where Biafrans can live in peace, secure on their ancestral land without fear and without the need to look over their shoulders. This vision fuels him, keeps him moving forward, even as he faces opposition and challenges. But Simon Ekpa's words also sparks a lot of questions. Is it really possible for Biafra to achieve independence? Can the Biafra Defense Forces truly secure the land against the Nigerian military? How do ordinary Biafrans feel about this movement, and do they support Simon Ekpa's approach? These are questions that lingers in the minds of many who are watching as the situation unfolds. For some, Simon Ekpa is a hero, a man willing to stand up to powerful forces and demand a better future for Biafrans. For others, he is a polarizing figure, someone whose method and strong words stir up controversy. But love him or hate him, there is no denying that Simon Ekpa has captured attention. His message reaches Biafrans not only in Nigeria but also in the diaspora. Those living abroad who still feel connected to their homeland believes in Simon Ekpa. One thing is clear, Simon Ekpa's vision for Biafra is uncompromising. He doesn't want a partial solution or a negotiation that falls short of independence. He wants a Biafra that is free, fully autonomous, and able to stand on its own, and is not afraid to challenge those who stand in his way, whether they are part of the Nigerian government or others who don't believe in Biafra independence. Simon Ekpa spoke to Biafrans, telling them that the entire Biafra land was under lock and keys on Monday, 11 November 2024. This phrase was his way of saying that Biafrans were following the government's directive to stay inside, to close their businesses and homes as a show of unity and obedience to the Biafran government in exile. To Simon Ekpa, this compliance wasn't just about following orders, it was proof of the Biafran people's strength and their commitment to the movement. For Simon Ekpa, this act of staying home was a form of silent protest, a way of showing that Biafrans are united in their cause. He believed that by doing this, they were sending a powerful message to the world, showing that they are willing to make sacrifices for their dream of independence. This act of solidarity is something Simon Ekpa sees as a symbol of the Biafran spirit, a spirit that refuses to be broken. In many ways, Simon Ekpa's story is part of a larger story, one that is being told in whisper and shouts for decades. It is the story of Biafra, a land with a rich culture and a proud people, a land that has seen both triumph and tragedy. And Simon Ekpa has become one of the voices speaking for this land, trying to bring it closer to a vision of freedom that many Biafrans hold dear. Simon Ekpa's message ends with a note of hope. He envisions a future where Biafra is free, where the people live in peace and security, where they don't have to flee or fear for their lives. He sees a time when Biafrans will look back on these days and remember them as the beginning of something new. For Simon Ekpa, this dream is worth fighting for, and he is determined to see it through, no matter the obstacle that lie in his path.
Good afternoon, fellow Biafrans. Today is the 11th day of November 2024. And entire Biafra land is under lock and key, in compliance with the Biafra government directive. I want you to understand, it is only in Biafra land that people are not running away from their ancestral land in the entire Nigeria. In Yoruba land, people are fleeing the ancestral land. In the northeast, northwest, middle belt, people are fleeing from the ancestral land. It is only in Biafra land, and the government of Biafra made it possible. But you know what? They would like you to believe that Simon Ekpa is the cause of insecurity. No. I am the solution, and the only way they can get to you is by kicking me out of the way, which is not possible. I have come. After I am done with Nigeria, Biafra will be free and enjoy freedom. Biafra will know the importance of freedom and what I'm doing today in 5 years to come. Thank you.
You can see how hot this food is now. Can any fly try and perch on this food? Now the dead body you go see. So don't even try going closer to Simon Ekpa. Simon Ekpa is like this food. You fly cannot perch on him. He's more than a conqueror. Don't try perching on him, Simon Ekpa, because If you try it, the end will justify the means. Walking out, can't you see? Walking out, Ogata Gidi, walking. Sir, the Simon Peter of our own time, the good guy himself, our PM, I salute you. Walking out, in a better, walking the Boje Mono. Hell.
As Trump win, cry full everywhere. As they declare Trump winner. As soon as for Nigeria begin the month. Now Republican win, now APC the month. Collabo. be like Democrat and Republican featuring the APC for that. Why did the month Trump win it? I mean, anything where did they ask from us? Is there something you guys want to tell us that you're not? You don't read though. I know some people, some Nigerians that in America will be very disappointed and say, some no want Trump. Some no want Trump. But I can tell you, majority of Nigerians want me Trump at that day. Some people with the America, they talk say Trump na racist. But they can't forget say the person now waiting for office for Nigeria campaign based on tribe. Emiloko. So I don't see as it be. And I don't see as this election take go now. You see as the election take go. Now to show you, say these Westerners, they get sense. They use Africa. They get sense. As Joe Biden begin the gaff, now Joe Biden is supposed to run for this office again. As he begin the gaff, they notice, China Democrats, they notice, say, man, this man cannot carry us. This man is not the vision of America. They had to drop him. Put Kamala Harris, person way at least go represent well. At least if they talk, you go hear what they talk. But for Nigeria, see what in Nigeria, the person they go all the places, they shout Bala. Person they shout Bala blood. The same Joe Biden way they America way they gaff. Now he can't they tell us say the Bala blue good for us. You can't talk say God wait there for heaven. No go visit her. Come room where I see now. Trump dead there. But next year, I'm going to see wall of Jericho. You can't wall where they had the head. You know that wall of Baba. No, no, go climb and finish. Wall. I don't see anything. I never see anything. God just design her. God design her for us. And
in the southeast, the military contends with similar threats from separatist rebels, indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. From his base in Finland, the self-acclaimed leader of the group, Simon Ekpa, has continued to seize portions of the airwaves to destabilize the country. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, wonders why Nigeria should continue to surrender its airwaves to Simon Ekpa.
I always want to bring up this issue of Simon Ekpa. I still don't know why we're not doing anything much about him. We can't allow him get the airspace against us. The country Finland is giving him refuge. They shouldn't do that for whatever reason. And we have diplomatic means of going through those things. So I think Minister of Information can do so much.
It gives the impression that the military have only gone there to swallow the people. You are in an amphitheater with a python. You end up being swallowed by the python. So, in the north, there is Operation Lafia Dole. What is Lafia Dole? That peace must reign. Why wouldn't they adopt similar code name in the southeast? Why don't you adopt Operation Udo Kama? Why don't you adopt Operation Njikoka? Why don't you adopt Operation Anibuofu? Meaning peace is supreme, unity is strength. We are one. These are all names you can use. Why use that name, Operation Python Dance? You have already destroyed the psyche of the people. The people, the same people you have gone there to protect, because you said, according to elementary, that they have gone there because of the security challenges in the southeast. So you have gone there to protect the people of the southeast, and you have massively destroyed their mentality. So why adopt that name? In the territory of northeast, where there is massive terrorism, you adopted a benign name like Lafia Dole. In the southeast, where there is no such challenge, you adopt such a wide name like Python Dance. The people are terrorized.
Okay.
Now, the third mistake that the military has made, and which is the most terrible one, is codenaming and calling IPOB a terrorist organization. By all intents and purposes, it cannot stand. And that is why every well-meaning Nigerian, every well-meaning observer of Nigeria, the whole international community is shouting and saying, this is wrong. This is wrong. Anybody who does not see it as being wrong is only trying to flow with the tide. Government has created a field and filled that field with landmines, and then expect players to go and play in that field. That cannot stand. So why branding IPOB a terrorist organization? And then
is the end of our news update. Please click the icon on the top right corner of your screen to watch my next video. You will enjoy it. I will see you again in my next update. Enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye for now.